Try this again. Let's make sure it's working. How's it looking? How's it sounding? Sounds okay. Just make sure my headphones are working.
You got everything?
All right. So there is actually an item here? Or am I just crazy? I think we'll just go with crazy for now. My alert box is up. Gonna pull that off to the side. Again, I want to make sure that I don't miss anything on Discord either. But, alright, here we go.
Such heat.
Continuing on from last time, we are now in the pits of hell. That is the simplest way I can put it, but it is accurate. Why is the lock-on so weird? So we will eventually end up there.
On the inside of a volcano. That fire really shoots up.
Hot foot. These hands of mine are burning red.
We'll put that to good use.
Again, for anybody who gets that reference, congratulations. You know quality. And by quality, I mean old Gundam. Right.
There's less damage higher up.
So that is just a natural barrier. Okay. Hot foot. So, I've been wandering around with like 3 million haze for like ever, so I've been wondering what I should actually do with it. I could just level myself up, but I feel like that would be overkill. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Wait a minute. When did I level up Elder Contract? How does this work? Am I crazy? I'll just go with I'm crazy. I don't know. I'm like, how did I do the thing?
That ladder is too far up, huh?
Of course there's an item there.
Fork in the road. Don't get surrounded.
Backstab.
That was easier than I expected. Looks like
Oh, right. Vestige.
Huh?
I was like, what?
Is that really?
Okay. Now we can start kicking down ladders. Bonk.
We can climb down now.
I have no idea if that's actually going to do anything, but hey, why not?
Let's just take the heat and run straight through.
All right. Ow! My face!
You have to use every tool you have, right?
Venom
It's
cartridge,
hard to move
alright.
with those flames.
Mia's actually not taking any damage. I hear it, but I'm looking at her health bar and nothing happens to her. I'm pretty sure they had designed it that way, but that's kind of hilarious to me.
There's no way this place formed naturally.
Oh my god, what a wombo combo. And there's a gunner? Yeah, there is. So I have to remember that is forward progress there.
I'm on my way. Hey, you've got sharp eyes. They want to keep this place private, I guess.
Yeah, they did. Anyway, forward progress is over there. It does come back. Okay.
Want to climb down? What is that over there?
This is a path. Where does this one go?
Enemy below us.
Yeah, okay.
It's a marvelous find.
Like your attitude.
Nope, we're gonna leave that. Mia, do not kill him before I get over there. Mia! Mia! Stop it. Trying not to take hits there, thanks.
Fighting like this is going to get us killed.
There we go. this was the run for the map, but I did get
You have to use
what I
everything
wanted
you
from
have.
here. Yeah, I don't think Mia's getting damaged at all. Alright. So this path goes back.
You can't go ahead on your own.
Goes up the stairs.
Whoa. Scary.
Scary indeed. I do want to go here. We'll come back to this in a second.
Is it something nice?
Actually, yes. Noble Silver? I think that's the really good one.
Is that really?
Okay. Got him. Good swing, big guy. Good swing. I do have to remember I can still climb down. That ladder goes up, but alright, we're gonna go back. I think that was the original path in, so that's fine. All good. All good. All good. Alright, got this.
I'm on my way.
Hot foot, hot foot. I wish dashing or something actually did something about that, but who knows.
We'll put that to good use.
Many items. Okay, I don't like that. That means there's at least more than 7.
I'll be right there.
Back. Back is where I need to go. Just gonna double check up here. I don't think anything's going on. Ah! Alright. Still doing good on regen.
Want to climb down?
I suppose I do want to climb down. I suppose I do.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, cutscene. Is this the Mito talk? It might be the Mito talk.
a terrible place.
Sealing away the queen? It's just absurd.
Yeah. We're going to skip all that. It's going to take me into the memory, and I'm going to skip the memory, too. He's going to be like, Emily! And I'm going to be like, you're right, Emily.
Sealing away the queen? It's just absurd, Gregorio. The successor. It was you.
Skathok. I don't know how to say that. It's like Skathic? Skathok? Skathic? Scathing?
Spending time here is not a great idea.
Well, Mia, you decided to wear that hat. I don't know what to tell you. That was your fault if you decided to boil yourself.
Shepherds, do they? There.
Take a big hit, don't you? Still many items. Weird.
You can't go ahead on your own.
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, but still, it's just like, how many could there possibly be? Did you? You did. You know what? That's fine. We're gonna backtrack just a smidgen. Just a smidjo! A smidgery! Smidgery-roo! Smidgery-didgery-doo. Okay. Part of that was Mia, the other part of that was the hammer. I don't know who to really blame here, but it's fine. So I've already been down in that section. That much I do know. Which means forward progress is actually not down there, but over here. And dropping into the hole, but we're going to go this way first. Because we're idiots.
Take cold a lot better than heat.
I also can take cold a lot better than heat. That is one thing I will agree with you on. I prefer the cold. And yes, I have lived in both. Again, it is a lot easier to add than it is to subtract. And if I'm sweating my balls off, there's not a lot else you can do. Everybody's like, oh, but it's so warm. I'm like, fuck you. Put on another jacket. You'll be fine.
Right there.
Oh, well. It's fine.
What could that be?
It's also why girls steal all your hoodies. You have a hoodie. Doesn't matter who you are. Girl's gonna steal it. What a swing. What a parry. You guys are hitting hard. I think it's because of my my blood veil, though. Like, it's not the strongest it could be, but that's fine.
You can't go ahead on your own.
Yep. We're gonna keep having this conversation until you get it. I can. I can go on my own. In fact, I've done it before. I will do it again. Shit, still many? We're running out of zone, I think. Okay, maybe not. Also, if you're playing this game, the sword mastery is by far probably going to be your best bet.
We can't last forever in the heat.
Ow. Ow.
Still alive?
Alright, I guess I get no heals from that. That's fine. That's cool.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
Okay.
Dead end. We must have taken a wrong turn somewhere.
It's fine. The dead end works out just fine. All right.
Don't be ridiculous. That's a
Aren't going to
marvelous
leave you
find.
behind.
Nah, I already put it in self-promo. I was like, do I want to let everybody know that I'm streaming? And the answer is kind of, but I feel like it would be disingenuous, especially considering I'm a moderator. And I'd be like, yeah, we already put it in self-promo. We let everybody know what's up. So it should be fine, but I think a lot of people just mute self-promotion, which, again, I understand. So I think I'm just going to let them be. I think that's fair. Even if it is my birthday, like, there's no reason to, like, cause people hassle. So we'll just not do that. I was thinking it over. I'm like, do I want to? And it's like, no. But anyway, for those of you who may not have known, I do stream. I do stream a lot. I try to stream every day if I can. Shit, there's two paths. I'll take the dead end. But I also upload to my YouTube channel. So if you're seeing this there, welcome. Thank you for watching.
Hard past here.
Thank you for commenting, and sharing. I'm sure you've done all of those things. And thank you for subscribing. Now, granted, do I expect anytime soon to be making revenue from YouTube? Not on your life. But at some point, I would like to at least make affiliate on my Twitch. And again, I'm a variety streamer, which is not good for, obviously, streamers. And I've been doing this for multiple years now. At least 5 regularly.
Is that really?
I used to do weekends only, and then I was like, you know what? I can do this more often, just after work and all that fun stuff. So I decided to do that. So here we
I'm
are.
on my way.
Here we are. We are doing the streamies.
You have, right?
And I do enjoy doing the streams because it feels nice. So, in case you were wondering,
Watch out.
I do enjoy streaming. I do have a lot of fun. I've helped a number of people, especially in, say, Dark Souls and the like. So, I have a good time. I hope that not... You know what? We're just going to run the lap again. I was like, do I want to do that? And then it's like, yeah, just in case. Again, the whole part of that trap is, did they knock you down? And unfortunately, I wasn't guarding or anything. I rarely guard in this game. Like, I've guarded maybe a few times, but only with, like, bigger weapons, because you don't have shields in this game. You only have weapons. So, guarding with smaller weapons just isn't natural to me. Again, since I'm a Dark Souls player, like, guarding in general is not natural to me, because I don't really guard, especially even in Dark Souls. So, I do like parries. These parry timings are a little weird, and you don't really get hyper armor a lot of the time, so it's just kind of confusing sometimes. Also, that ice ball that came at this dude must have been the most confusing thing of his life. He's like, how in the hell did they even form here? Oh, fucking roly-poly ball. So their whole gimmick is knock you into a firewall. Or knock you off something. Which, I don't want to allow either of those things to happen.
Phew. I wasn't sure we'd make it through that. What do you think we'll find?
Another vestment. Stuffed toy. Just gonna go to the edge here. This is basically just another path down in case you didn't find the other path,
You
so
think this ladder will hold? There are fewer flames here.
it's all fine.
Let's take a breather before we go on.
I'm trying to think, why did I want to rest? There was some reason, and I can't remember.
I understand wanting to be cautious, but
No items. So I've got everything. There was a reason. Why did I want to rest? Oh, I know why. We're just gonna... Again, I hate to do this, because it looks like I'm being a casual, but I've saved up this many... haze, so I might as well just use it. But let's see if we can get some things done here. None for that. None for that. That's done. That's done. That's done. 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 I don't think there's anything left. It's basically what I got on now and whatever's remaining. I am going to get a new one from this next boss fight, but it's just a little odd. MJ310. Why is it all MJ310s? And why is there no way to convert it? Oh well, doesn't matter. We're going to level up. I know how ridiculous that looks. So we started at 136. Like, that's where I ended pretty much the last game, but might as well just go as far as we can. Okay.
There it is. The successor's crypt.
Please, spin a thread of memory for me.
Okay, so I've got all three of hers, which is what I wanted to know, which is perfect. I guess it is the middle of a work week. Like, I was trying to figure out if maybe it was just me, but hey, it's fine. And I did rest at the the missile, so if for whatever reason the game crashes, it will just put me back where I was.
Please, spin a thread of memory for me.
I don't know why it defaults to no. Why would it default to no? When it's like, obviously, yes, you would want to get the memories done. And again, this will be another good case study. So if I don't have all the memories, it doesn't matter. And I feel like 3 is more than enough. Oh, I also need to go into the depths, didn't I? Or am I crazy? Did I need to go into the depths? I don't know if I got a map or not. Maybe I did. Oh well, we'll check on the side quests after this boss fight. We'll get that done, and then we'll go into the next section, which is not too difficult. Because I think it's the Ava trigger, which basically just takes us to the bottom of the snowfield, which we've already been to, which is fine. Gonna go ahead and do the update to Discord.
I've been... Please, spin a thread of memory for me.
Time crunch is nice. Ba, ba, ba. Alright.
I've been.
I don't think you have anything else I can give you.
Memory for
Yep, we're done. Boss fight away! Woo! I need to switch this buff. For sure. Do I not have an ice buff? That can't be right. Do I really not have an ice buff?
Thanks.
I guess fire protection will beat an ice buff. That's fine. I do have an ice weapon, but I don't know... Again, I don't know what the determination of effectiveness is on certain things. Like, what enemies are weak to what? Sup, Emily?
It's just like what happened with Nicola.
Emily!
Like, say what you want to say, but that girl got big. That girl got big. Fucking thick. No, I'm kidding. Just.
There.
Mia! Nope. Too late. Again, that was just me being too gung-ho. I got too close, and I know it. The full body explosions are ridiculous. Like, let me just be clear about that. Full body explosions, doing most of your bar, and it does nothing to their health, is the worst thing they've ever done.
How are you doing?
Because every other attack, it doesn't matter. It's just that one that does, like, full 1,000 damage. And it's just like, why would you do that?
Now we're ready.
Maybe you're resistant? Maybe that's what the problem is? No. Okay, that'll work. Blazing Claw. I wonder if I already had one of those and I just didn't realize it. You're not going to let me skip this, are you? Well, this will let me skip, actually. And again, I feel bad for Emily because I really do like Emily. I wish they would have done more with her, like they did with Nicola or something like that. Like Louis' thing, it makes sense, but poor Emily gets the short end of the stick. It's just like Yakumo has to care about something. Shit.
What are you doing there, child? Those pitiful creatures have fallen in their attempt to climb.
No, they're still asleep. That's all. They'll wake up before long.
I'm afraid we don't have the luxury to coddle late bloomers. However, their failure will fuel your success, for they will serve as offerings to your ascension.
Wait. Whatever you want to do, just do it to me.
Oh, an intriguing offer.
Keep your grubby fingers off them.
Grubby. Grubby. Gruby.
Don't worry, Yakumo. I'll keep everyone safe. I promise. So, next time we meet, you can pay me back with a bunch of onigiri. Got that? Take care, you guys.
Damn, was Mito always that huge? Holy shit. Like, he's just big, motherfucker.
Yes, just as I thought. A tempered will has the power to resist the relic's corruption. Soon, humanity will rise to a higher plane of existence, knowing all, transcending all, and eventually consuming all. Just you wait, Gregorio. In the end, I will come for you.
That one's always a little weird. Oop. One of those sales calls again. Also, if my ringtone ever fully goes off, it's hilarious and I love it. Again, I have to remind you that I am a moderator for twitch.tv/Leafeons. So she did a Doppio ringtone thing. And if you're not sure what that is, it's a JoJo reference. Just look up Doppio answering phone and you'll probably get it. But she did that and we made it an actual ringtone. So it's pretty great. I can skip this. Cool. I want to bet this phone call's from like China or something. I'm sorry, Emily. I love you. You're great. Okay, she doesn't have a line. Nope. Okay, we're gonna let this one roll. Because it's a little bit different. Since she's not there.
Emily.
I'm sorry, Yakumo. I feel bad. I really do feel bad.
Yeah.
Even worse than Nicola. Which is a little weird.
If I slow down now, she'll give me a real earful. You've got me in your pocket now. You're already carrying a lot on your shoulders. Let me help take some of the load, okay? Well, time to move. Come on, let's get going. Just you wait. I swear I'll make that bastard pay for what he's done.
Now, does he show up now that she's been ashed, is my question. Well, there's the Mito scene. But she's not in the background, so it's the same as usual from there. Oh boy. Hang on. Yeah, hear that lovely ringtone? Alright, anyway. That was my brother wishing me a happy birthday. It's very nice. Appreciate it. he told me I was old, and, you know, I had to remind him that he's also old, and he's like, no, I'm not old. It's like, okay, that's cool. So, focus on overwhelming enemies with both gifts and physical attacks. That's actually not bad. Isn't there supposed to be a missile in here? Am I crazy?
No, I can still
Oh.
feel my successor.
That's a marvelous find.
Thank you. I'll be out in a minute.
To keep searching.
Alright. So we're going to go back to base for a second, and while we do that, I'm going to go grab my food. So, take a break. I will be right back. Why did I know it'd take this long? It's fine. Just gonna eat this real quick. Give me a huge fry wrapper for a hash brown. I think they just grabbed the wrong one. Let's go talk to waifu extraordinaire, my girl Io. Io's great. I love her. She's fantastic.
I have been awaiting your return.
Gonna get the Hermes one done. Oh. We're gonna skip past it because we've seen it before. Just in case you were wondering, I do have a YouTube channel. I've seen it all before. No, it's fine. I'm going to assume your name is Dano and that the T is silent, or is it just Dan not? I'm just going to go with Dan. So, Dan, thank you for
No, the thing is,
joining the stream. So, picked this up yesterday, haven't started yet. Any helpful thoughts? Sorry if I'm asking, others already have. So, it depends. I'm not going to move from this spot. Dan not. Okay, got it. Or were you just laughing at the idea of Dan not? I'm not sure. I have to assume, because it's not like I can hear you pronounce it. But, for this game, you can pretty much go in with whatever character you want. You can swap your abilities on the fly. So I've got a number of blood codes here. And you can do it whenever. So you can switch your abilities, you can switch your equipment, switch your build to whatever fits your need. So if you're ever feeling like you're struggling for any reason, just remember you have that ability. So you can switch all of your stuff around. The other thing I'm going to suggest is try to master as many skills as possible. And once you do, move on to a new skill. Like, even if you end up wanting to use that skill, like, say, permanently, for whatever reason, you want to keep leveling up all your skills until they're mastered. And it's not too hard in the beginning. It gets way harder towards the end game. So the faster you do it, the easier it's going to be to master those skills. But did you have anything specific as far as questions? Because I'm just going to stand here for a minute, because I guess I can go through the vestiges since I'm not going to watch them. I've already seen them before, and I have the YouTube channel up. But if you have questions, feel free to ask. Also, welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. Having an active viewer is always nice. Even inactive viewers. It's all cool.
Most of the blood springs were already dry by the time I began.
Oh, we're going to go ahead and skip past that. Thanks. And again, this is my second playthrough.
I have been awaiting.
So there are reasons to do multiple playthroughs. What I'm doing right now is not one of those reasons. You can get most of this part done in a single playthrough, but later on.
And that was how it all began.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mia. I wonder if that was from the mountain.
I have been awaiting your return.
No, I didn't play Dark Souls as people say this is like. Now replaying it will let you continue with the same character, or is it a fresh restart? So let me clarify what happened here. So when you get to the end of the game, it's going to give you the option to do a New Game Plus, and you have the option of doing it at the same difficulty or a harder difficulty. Now, right now, I'm just doing same difficulty because I'm just trying to get endings for now. I will eventually do the harder difficulty. So you do keep all of your abilities. So all your blood codes stay the same, all your weapons stay, and all of your veils stay. So anything you collected as far as items, you keep. But what does end up happening is the shops reset, and the vestiges, which are the memories which I've collected from this game, they also reset. So you have to recollect all of those. And I wasn't sure. I'm still not 100% sure because I haven't gone to a boss and not collected them. But if I look at the restore vestige list, there are some that are grayed out, even though I've collected them before and done all of these before. Because I collected them all. I did collect them all in my first playthrough, which I would recommend doing. So that is a thing. Like, just make sure you get all the vestiges in your first playthrough, and they won't disappear if you, like, leave an area. So you can always go back to old areas and look for them. And you can see what the item you'll get below is, and it will give you a list saying what that ability is. Now, as far as its relation to Dark Souls, it's definitely not. It definitely does have Dark Souls-like features. So, for example, this one's got Missile versus Bonfires. You can level up at the Missile just like a Bonfire. You can level up your weapons. You can level up your armor, all that stuff. Also, I always got huge biddies. Anyway.
I have been awaiting your...
I always best girl. Just remember that. I always best girl. Always will be. She's so useful. She does a lot of things. I love her. She's great. Now, as far as the combat's concerned, it's definitely not Souls. It is not Souls combat. Souls combat requires a little more thought and prep. With this game, basically, if you've got a big enough stick, you can slap people around with it.
I had no idea what Carmilla went through.
I have been a...
Now, what I did in my first playthrough is, since they had bayonets, which are a weapon type, I went mostly bayonet. And you can pretty much use whatever weapon you want as long as it's in the game, and still do pretty good. So... Also, as far as your character's design, it does not have to be permanent. I should talk about that for a second. You can redesign your character. Things you can't change after you've created a character is the character's name, the character's gender, or the character's voice. So, if you pick a bad name, a bad voice, or a bad anything else, you can't change it. But the looks... Let me show you what I had before. And again, I'm doing this with a Leafeons model because I moderate her channel, twitch.tv/Leafeons. I am her moderator, also on her Discord. So I designed a character after her. Now, is she aware of it? Probably not, but that's fine. Because she lives in a different time zone. She's usually asleep by the time I'm streaming anyway. But so if I go to the mirror here, I can adjust my appearance at any time. And I can adjust all these features. So clothing, purifier mask, mask frame, all that sort of stuff. And my original character is this one here. So I can switch to that character look at any time. You can save and load your customizations as you want. You can change all of that. You can also look at your character in different lighting, all that fun stuff. I also have a male character as well, based off Bivecchio, who I also moderate for. Another VR chat streamer on Twitch, so... Just some things to keep in mind. So if you don't like your look for any reason, or you want to change it on the fly, or you want to change your whole look, you most certainly can. And again, it's not that I don't like my Briar design. It's just I thought it would be fun to use the Leafeon's model that I created for a bit. So that's what I'm doing. How's it going, Coco? What's going on,
A
girl?
whole new line of stock in. But seriously, if you want it, I got it.
Yeah, baby, she's got it.
Watch yourself out there.
Okay. Another thing to note, and I'm going to check now, because I think I do have another map. This boy right here
We've received a report that
is
someone
Davis.
destroyed the bear. One witness says there was a woman. Well, that's all I can say.
Now, Davis gives you access to the depths, which requires you
I'll
to
lead the
collect
way.
or gather
Just tell me where we're
maps,
going.
which you can either get by collecting them from a map or doing side quests to get these maps. Because there are some revenants that will just give you maps. They will just hand them out. The second you start getting these, start doing them. There's no reason to wait. All the levels of the monsters are going to scale to where you currently are in an area. So let's say you're in the beginning area and you've got the Den of the Dead map. They are going to be basically on par with your level. And you can just keep redoing them and redoing them and redoing them until you've completed them. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the Arachnid Grotto.
It's unexplored territory from here on. Take care.
Because that is for a side quest I need to do. Did I answer most of your questions there, Dan? Or are you still a little bit lost?
Glad to be together.
Oh my.
We'll put that to good use.
I don't think I've ever used a chemical light as of yet. Yeah. But again, I have a good time with it. I feel like it's a fun game. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be playing it for so long, especially for a second playthrough.
I'm relying on you.
Thanks, Mia. I knew I could count on you, girl.
They haven't seen us yet.
Is this a dead end? No, it's a ramp. Okay, I was like, what the hell? Alright. Well, never mind me then. We'll just leave that ice ball there to disintegrate. That's cool. Got this one to start, and Outer World coming out tomorrow, which is free with Game Pass. Nice. So you're an Xbox player as well. In fact, are you using Xbox to type? Is that what's happening? Again, I don't mind either way. I'm just curious. I am also on the
You
Xbox.
can't go ahead on your own.
Ow! Son of a bitch.
What do you think that might be? We should be able to use that somewhere.
Oh, you're on the PC. Oh. Okay, cool. No, that's fine. PC works.
We can barely see in front of us here.
Mia, what are you talking about? You can see perfectly fine. We can see all the way to that wall. Oh, shoot. I keep forgetting to do this. Also, so there is an
Checking
achievement
your equipment?
in this game. And I've misunderstood what it meant. But the achievement is to get to rank 30. What I misunderstood is I thought it wanted 30 medals, which is not the same. So you get medals by pairing up with people in multiplayer and beating bosses. Played all systems, always come back to Xbox One as the console of choice. I mean, fair. I like my Xbox too, so that's usually how it goes. But anyway, so there is an achievement, and it's not 30 medals. You have to get to rank 30. Right now, I'm rank 9 with 70 medals. To get to rank 30, it's the very last one, you need 400 medals. Which means you have to beat 400 bosses while playing multiplayer to get that many medals. So that could be one of two things. And the easiest way to do that is in the depths. So you can get a medal per boss, and each of these little side areas, I'm just going to show this one off real quick. Because it works the same as Dark Souls. Once you beat a boss, like in the normal game, the vanilla game, the summon gets kicked out. So that's fine. You get one medal for that. But the depths are a little different, where you have these like little mini bosses that are on the side paths before you get to the last boss. So each of these also counts as a boss, but the summon doesn't get kicked out until you beat the main boss. And depending on how many mini bosses there are, you can get like 3, 4, 5 medals at a time. So that's my recommendation if you're going for that.
Stay sharp.
I was still in the hole. Ow! Ow! Stop it!
So many.
Oh, I love how I got the damage even though I already killed it. And again, it's only really if you're going for the achievement. Otherwise, it doesn't really do much. It gives you new icons and new titles, but the only one that actually matters is the ability there called Cognitive Zeal. So you need at least 10 to get that. So, yes. Yes, so that's how the depths works. They will respawn over and over, and yeah. Basically farm the mini-bosses, yeah. Now, you do have to reset the zone every time, but yes, they do come back. So this is what I'm talking about, because I was worried that the depths were going to be like a challenge dungeon when I was first playing. So I didn't even jump into it until like late in the game. I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot. And then I was like one-shotting enemies, and I was like, oh, I should have been here sooner.
We'll put that to good use.
Now, granted, given the level that I'm at, when I usually try to get summoned in or try to help people, I get summoned in for like the harder bosses, which is fine because I can still kill the mini bosses and get like good stuff. But you know, I'm not going to talk about endgame bosses, but they are pretty hard to refight. We'll take the loop. We'll do the loop. Bust out the rifle.
That key might come in handy.
I did actually need that key, yeah. It's a shoot-off. Ow! Stop that! I think that was her spell, but I'm just gonna say it was me anyway.
Look, do you see that? What do you think we'll find? They don't look very
Ouch. Alright, cool. Come on, big boy. I thought for sure that would be the last one. How wrong I was. Yep. She was late on the revive there, but that's fine. Also, you don't actually have to have a helper with you if you don't want one. It makes the game a little bit harder because you have to watch your health a little bit stronger, but...
Hey, are you okay?
if you want to make it more challenging, they don't need to be there. Also, I should have been paying much more attention to my health, but I was just kind of going gung-ho into it.
There.
I'm not liking that halberd. I'm not really liking it. They are trying to inhibit the shit out of me.
Enemy is nearby. You have to use every tool you have, right?
There we go.
How about retreating and trying again later? Can't lose this one.
Ow! I love how the double hits work. It's like, yeah, they both hit you. Alright, thanks, game. Where was that buff earlier, girl? Hmm? Where was that buff earlier? Ow. Did you actually? Oh, my controller batteries are low. Also, yeah, anytime you run into one of those situations, it sucks. Especially when you don't have a lot of healing. But they are all winnable. I was just fighting them badly. So don't panic. Get backstabs, because you get invincibility frames on backstabs and crits. Remember to block and to parry. And learn your parry timing, because that'll save you a lot of trouble. Now, backstabs will not work on most bosses, but there are some that it will work on. And it's kind of hard to determine which ones those are. I mean, sure. If you want to say it that way. Normally, I would not use a one-handed sword. The only reason I am is because I want to get practice with it. But my preferred weapon, if I had to choose, is definitely this big boy. Now, right now, my veil doesn't, or my blood code, my veil doesn't really allow me to wield it properly, which is why it has this lovely red line through it. But as soon as I switch my blood code, it's fine. So there isn't a weapon that you cannot wield. It's just, do you have the right blood code? Ow. Stop it. Will you let me cast? And it's gonna be no. I'll let the ice take care of it. There we go. So that's the fun thing. So let me go to a blood code that actually works with it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Atlas and Zweihander. So what you want to look at, and if you're looking at this black box over here on the right-hand side, look in the lower left-hand corner. And you'll see that mobility is normal. So normal mobility versus quick or anything else means that you move faster, but not only do you move faster, you swing faster. So even if you're carrying the big hulking thing, doesn't matter what it is, as long as your mobility says normal or quick, you are going to swing it normal or quick. So now if I go back to the other blood code, which I was on Queen's Ribcage just for funs, you'll see my mobility changed, but if I go to like a super huge weapon, like a hammer, I guess Queen's Ribcage gives me like optimum mobility. Alright, hang on, let me change my blood veil. Alright, here we go. So if I change my blood veil, which is also part of this, you'll see that the weapon mobility, also in the bottom left, for certain weapons, changes. So if you have a blood veil that's heavier and bigger and more defensive, you're going to have a slower swing and a slower movement speed. So slow, normal, slow, normal, slow, normal, slow. Yeah, so you can see it all down there in the bottom left. So red is slow. And weight, it doesn't really matter. Weight only determines whether you do get a slow or a fast swing. As long as you can wield it, though, you can wield whatever you want. So for me, the reason I have the ice blood on versus anything else is I want the mind and the willpower scaling that I get, which gives me a B and a C for mind and willpower, because there are certain weapons that don't even do mind or willpower. which is fine because they just do like straight up damage. But what mind or willpower scaling does is it makes my abilities stronger versus my actual attack stat, which is why you'll see me use my I-Core abilities. Now, granted, could I use a full strength weapon? Sure, absolutely. Like, I enjoy strength builds, so I would normally do that. So strength scaling plus mind and willpower, you know, that's all good stuff. Like anything along those lines works out really well. I don't think there's anything that does vitality as far as weapons are concerned, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, back to what I was doing. We have one more route. Also, I know this is going to be a little weird, but some abilities like prize perception, treasure tracker, spoil spotter, and all those are really useful. So even if they're not combat skills, you want skills that help you do things. So vivification is another one, where you can return back to a missile if like you're in a dangerous situation and you have no other way to get back. This will just take you back to the missile and you don't lose your haze. Which is, the haze is basically your souls in this game. The way you level, the way you buy things, everything. Because otherwise, there are just infinite items that cost you your haze. Like, you will lose it all, but you will be able to go back and rest. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a reason I don't have that ability on my person anymore. Let's just say it kind of got nerfed super hard. Not by the developers or anything, just by functionality. Also, all of my maps are exposed because I've already been through these areas before in my first playthrough. So that's another thing. If you start another game, as long as you've completed a map the first time, the map will still stay. You just have to reactivate the missiles as you go along. But other than that, your map still stays around, which is really helpful.
Try to stay out of their line of fire.
Getting them grotto
Use
keys.
every tool you have, right? Is it something nice?
Warped Blade Inhibit. Also, I've never found a reason to infuse a weapon. Like, very, very few times that I've tried, like, I've just never found a real reason to do it. It does give you the option to, but I don't know. Maybe there's a better build for it than I don't know of. Well, that didn't last long. That ice shot definitely did some damage. Those are cool. Also, yes, gravity will kill you, so don't fall off edges. Oh. That's my ringtone. Just a moment.
feeling okay?
Sorry, but I'm in an entirely different league. That was a fine battle.
Sorry about that. I'm back. That was my mother giving me birthday wishes at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. So it's fine. Anyway, so back to the game. So that was the last boss of the area. Are my abilities leveling at all? No, not even a little bit.
I'll be right there.
So this is what I mean. Like, I'm trying to master these other skills, right? But they are not going up. Also, if you were able to hear my ringtone, isn't it lovely? Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it.
I don't think we've opened this yet.
Again, it's obligatory birthday stream, so, you know. Actually, what does the title say for you, Dan? I hope it does say the correct title. Because that's been a problem lately, and I don't know if it's a Twitch thing or if it's
They
a
don't look like pushovers, do they?
other thing. Alright, listen, you. I'm gonna ice ball you again. Take this. And this. Ouchies. Whoa. All right. Explosion. Sure, why not? That rushdown is the most annoying thing about this character. Or just try to heal and he just like, "Arr, I'm coming after you." Will you stop that? It's right. Okay, it is right. Cool. I had to remember the question I asked, and then what your response was. It was like, let's work backwards. He said, it's right. What's right? And then I was like, title, stream, got it. All right. So anyway, that right there would have been 4 medals if I got anybody to join in, but nobody joined in, so it didn't work. Going back to home base real quick. So it also works if you're a host that has somebody helping you. So again, like if you're playing on your game, you can definitely just send distress signals and have people help you fight through the game. And as long as they beat the boss, the AI does self-heal. They do have their own limited heals. And you also have the ability, which is like by default, it's like usually like the right trigger and the B button, which is a heal for them. Basically, you take some of your own life to revive them. Like, let's say you or they go to 0 health, right? So if you go to 0 health, they'll use their ability, which is a long cooldown timer, that takes some of their health and gives it to you to revive you and put you back on your feet. If they go down, you can do the same, and you'll get that lovely sound cue that says, hey, your ally's down, and then you use that ability to revive them. So the usual requirement to make your own regeneration better is to fight a optional boss in an area. Like, there will be a side path, and it will take you to an area that basically dead ends into nothing. But then there will be like this big boss or something, and you'll be like, oh, I don't want to go over there. But if you beat that character, it will make your regeneration better, usually in some way, or give you an item that you really want. But that's in vanilla game, not in the depths. The depths is its own separate thing. That's for upgrade material and just random items. Alright. Io's done. Yakumo's done.
After I gave her the blood beads, I think she's still...
I'm not going to let her say what she was going to say. I don't think she cares about that.
Make sure
Age Brandy.
before you go out.
I think that's you. I don't know why I have 5 of them.
Are things like this popular?
Okay, you don't care about Brandy. Fine.
Thanks, I promised.
Do you care about Brandy?
Oh, that's well-aged brandy. I love how it makes my nose tingle. This stuff's hard to come by. You want to crack it open with me? Drinking alone isn't much fun. This is quite the gift. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they're... The weapons on the wall? Yeah. So it's basically just your hub. It's your hub area.
You got a big heart. I'll put this to good use.
Yeah, still have Brandy. Greeting. Agree. Also, so what I'm doing now is I'm giving them items, which you will collect. They'll look like random shit. Like, it'll be like a teddy bear, or a sandwich, or spices, or whatever else. Each character that can be in your hub world likes a certain thing or certain types of things, and you get more points if they like a thing or less points if they don't like a thing. The easiest thing I'm going to tell you now is if you're not sure and you want to make the most of it, just look it up. It's not really that big of a deal. But if you want to get some interesting education by learning yourself,
Put it to good use.
you can just, do that. I don't think he cares about... You know what? I'm going to give you the coffee beans.
I've been kind of interested in these for a while.
Okay, so that one was a less... He gave me, like, extra points. He gave me 3 versus 5, but it's not something he particularly cares about, so it's fine.
Your body has limits, you know. Get some rest.
Now, I also got the DLC, which is why my Mia... And we're going to look at regular Mia, who's right here. This is her normal outfit. But my Mia, when we go out into the world, is white because I have the DLC. So to activate the DLC, there's this little thing that says read note, but it's fine. There's this room here, so any DLC items are going to usually end up down here. And this doll right here, alternate Mia, white, available to accompany you as a partner. So that's how you activate her as an alternative. Oop. Anyway. So you can also, like, depending on what you want to do with your character, like, you can lay on things. And probably the most important thing about this area is once you've created a character, you can go out to the hot spring. There is a hot spring in this game. Now, granted, don't expect, like, nudity, but it's not bad all the same. You get to see some interesting things. Also, the jiggle physics in this game is nuts. So, like, that is what's going on with the female characters. Like, all of them. And you'll see, like, some of the girls are just here. There's Mia. There's my girl Io. And you can enter and all that sort of stuff. There is actually a little bit of usefulness for the hot spring, but it's only if, like, you lose haze and you don't want to go back there. You can get half the haze back by going into this hot spring, and it will just collect it for you for half. You'll get half the haze. And haze drops when you die. So just like souls and Dark Souls, the second you die, you lose your souls. In this particular game, if you lose your haze and you don't want to go back, you can just go to the hot spring. And again, you can sit on the chairs. Actually, she's got some nifty looking sandals. And again, you can do this with your male or female characters. And at some point, like, they'll just walk in and out of the frame. So, you'll see them show up from time to time. Good lord, that butt. Anyway. How can there be another update to Discord? Alright, so before I call it a night, I do want to get one more... Ooh, the game... crashed. All right, am I back? So, I don't know if that's a game-specific thing or if that's just a me-specific thing, but this is the only game I really have that problem with where the game just crashes. So, I don't know if it's an update problem or what, but it happens from time to time. That being said, the way to get around that, make sure you rest at your missiles. And I know I made this mistake a couple days ago where I just ran through an area. And I activated the missiles, but I didn't rest at them. Unless you rest at them, it doesn't make a save. So the game crashed, and I was like an hour into a zone, and I hadn't rested. So I lost an hour's worth of progress, and I had to run through a whole section. And it's on my YouTube video, and it is the hardest section of the game if you're new to it. And it sucks. It sucks having to redo it.
Let's get going.
Okay, that game better not crash. Had a crash today, No Man's Sky, lost all the forward progress I did. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. It's like you lost all your forward progress, and just like right now, right? I didn't rest at a missile at my home base. So everything I just did at my home base in that last few minutes, I lost. So now I have to give the items back and get the items back. All right, let's try this again.
Promised.
Yeah, see, I've got that brandy back. And just to keep it consistent, I will give him the coffee beans. Greeting, agree, and the rest stamp.
Put it to good use. Your body has limits, you know. Get some rest.
Mia!
Find you the quick.
Exchange, give valuable. Here, have a
Sorry, I don't
have a toy.
anything to offer in return. Where do you...
Okay, she actually doesn't really care about that, does she? Anyway, so another thing, and again, this really doesn't come up until you start getting people, but you want trading points if you have a particular weapon that you like a weapon type or anything like that. For example, I like bayonets. So I gave her 50 trading points, and you keep the trading points from your multiple playthroughs, so that's fine. That's another thing that stays. And I buy the one-time use only items. Or, well, I buy the weapons, which are worth 50 trading points, and then the one-time only items, like the stamps, and that's pretty much it. Like, the iCore blends, I still don't really understand why I would get them. I really don't. So, it's hard to say why I would want them, but
I have to do
oh well.
my part too.
Like, I do have a few, it's just I don't know why I have them.
However, I think you're...
Here, have an Odin sandwich.
We would think...
Here, have an undamaged paint
I
set.
guess...
Okay, he doesn't care.
Waste not. The fighting will get more intense from here on.
Your life
Coco. Have some spices.
You know me pretty well. I've always liked... It's strange. Watch yourself out there.
Also, there is a little training area over here if you want to test out your weapons. But other than that, there's not really a lot of a use for it. Like, I don't think there is any reason to do it. Let's see. Oh, right. Side quests. Side quests, side quests.
The purpose of truth. I could create one. Simply of my eye.
All right. Oh, shit. I didn't want to go back to home base, but you know what? That's fine. So, as far as story is concerned, unlike Dark Souls, this does give you a story. Dark Souls, you just sort of have to learn it by piece. It's like, hey, do the thing. And then you have to sort of fill in the gaps of, do I really want to do the thing? Should I do the thing? You know, all that sort of stuff. It doesn't tell you explicitly, like, here's the good thing, here's the bad thing, or anything like that, which is why a lot of people kind of like that game, and I do too. Like, I have fun with Dark Souls. But it's just, you know, one of those things. This game, however, will tell you straight up, here's what you need to do, here's why it's good, here's why it's bad. And you'll know a good or a bad decision when you see it. This is a strong guess. This is a very strong guess. Okay, he is there. Cool.
Oh, it's you again. Do you have any activated thingy? The monk was.
Activated missile. Alright. We'll go ahead and grab that real quick. I don't think there's anything back at the trenches. I think we're done with the trenches. I hope I can get out of the Cryptic Breath. Yeah, it's funny. I beat one boss, and then most of the rest of this has just been side missions. But that's sort of how this game works. It's like, unless you know what you're looking for as far as the side missions are concerned, you may not see them. So, it's fine. You just have to make sure that you do backtrack and go to old locations. And if you see a symbol on the map that you haven't seen before, it's probably a side mission.
The successor's crypt here has a similar pattern. If the crypt's pattern matches, I'd like to do more but some...
Nicola, watch over us. We'll keep fighting until the end.
Huh? Is that really?
Breath touch snowflake.
The successor's crypt here. There's... The success... Even...
Okay, that's done.
I hope something turns up.
Oh. We're gonna go back to the research facility. Pay no attention to the man behind the mirror. Humana, humana, humana. The ice melted. That's not good. That's always the worst when you get a drink and the ice melts. It's like, ew, it's in the water.
We don't have time to stand around.
There's
Keep
the
yourself
missile
safe
agent.
out there.
Going back down. I don't know if it's cross-platform, but I'm going to guess that it's not. Again, I don't know for sure. I haven't looked it up, but I'm going to guess that even though PlayStation has agreed recently to allow crossplay, they haven't actually introduced that feature. And I don't know if Code Vein would have done that.
So, this stuff is activated. This is serious here, I swear.
I understand wanting to be cautious.
This right here is a really good ability. Let's go back to the City of Flame. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up these side quests real quick, or at least as many as I can. And then get to the next area, or at least the start of the next area, so I'm ready to go. And then we'll probably call it a night so I can get some stuff done. You might be right. You may be right. Again, I think... And again, this is a Sony issue more than a PlayStation issue. But I think they finally realized that, you know, people like to be able to play games together. Doesn't matter what console they're using. And I think they realized that the netcode will be a lot better if they just figure out a way to combine servers. It's a lot cheaper, too. That's why Nintendo and Xbox, they pretty much had it going. And since Xbox and Microsoft goes with PC, you had some games that could do the cross-play with PC, which is kind of nice. So you already had, like, everybody else involved. The only outlier was Sony.
I don't think we've been up there.
Well, here's a puzzle. Oh, hello. It's how will I investigate the
Okay, so she wants to get the successor item up ahead. Unfortunately, she's way the hell back here, which is kind of dumb. I don't know why they decided to put her way back here. I guess to make sure she would stay out of danger, but I still don't understand it.
Want to head up this ladder?
I'll be right there.
Waiting for the fog gate to go down. Come on, fog gate. Piercing blow. Come on, game, you can do it. So it does have a little bit of problems when you go from one area to the next. Yeah, there we go. It's loading. You know how I know? Because the minimap activated.
Lend me your strength.
There we go. Teleport. To the back alley. So I don't know if you were here for this fight, but this was one of them.
Huh? Is that really?
Claw-touched ore. Thank you, Squidman. 3 words. Treat yourself. I kind of did earlier today, so I did do that. I appreciate the support, Squidman. I really do. Means a lot. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for all the balloons. You're actually catching me towards the end of the stream, because I'm going to do some quality stuff after this. Just for myself. But it's okay. I appreciate you being here. Hype, hype, hype. You right. You right.
Thank you so much. Yes, he is. It's. I do not disagree with Mitos.
Okay, so that one's done. So, yeah, most of the Pokemon games, actually, I need to do that too. Especially like the newer Pokemon games. Like if you go into a Pokemon Center, yeah, they do give you special stuff for your birthday. You can also go to the lottery. I don't know if it gives you a bonus, but I think your odds are better on your birthday than any other day. Although if it did decide to give me first prize, which I think in Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon is a Master Ball or better, which is kind of hard to determine what's better than a Master Ball, but yeah, I think that is a thing. Now, obviously, with my Xbox, I don't know if there's too many things that'll activate per se, but it would be nice. Teleport. We're going to go back to the cathedral front. How about 2 Master Balls? Yeah, exactly. So, it's funny, but every time I play a Pokemon game, doesn't matter which one it is, I never, ever, ever use the Master Ball. Never. I will use a Dusk Ball, an Ultra Ball, a Pokeball, everything else first. But I will never touch the Master Ball for any reason. And again, you ask why, but I don't even know myself. Like, it is a bartering chip for sure. Like, if I traded, like, say, a Rattata, a level 1 Rattata with a Master Ball on it, on the global trading system, I feel like somebody would take that trade. Now, would I ever do it? Not really. Is she here? What are the chances she's actually here? Well, somebody's there. Is she actually in the room? No, that's downstairs. I was like, I saw a person. And it's like, no, it's literally down the stairs. Alright. The only other area I can think of is the crossroads, which might be the last thing I need to do here. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a Master Ball failing. Are we talking about, like, the original games? Because I'm not going to lie, if my Master Ball ever failed to catch anything, I wouldn't consider it the luckiest moment of my life. I'd be like, that's fucking dumb. Now, I know in, like, red, blue, and I think maybe yellow, like, there is a chance that your 100% hit moves would miss. Even though they're at 100% because of a issue with the values. Just use the Master Ball and a level 1 Magikarp. I mean, you're right. I mean, people joke, but Magikarp turned into Gyarados, and Gyarados is a damn good Pokemon. Like, I raise dragons. Like, that is my specialty. Lately, I've been incorporating fairy types, but dragons are the bomb.
Good timing. I think you'll find the information, but I don't want to put you, so please.
So he gave me another map to the depths. We're not going to do that map today, but we will eventually get to it.
I never thought I'd see a space like this.
The one I am worried about, though, is that one. There's not really an easier way to get over there, but we'll just go. I want to find the person who fails the Master Ball. Oh, I'm sure out there. If it does exist, I'm sure there's a YouTube video of it somewhere.
Things just got worse.
It's ominous.
In fact, I'm sure there's like Pokemon. You hate your brother? Why? What happened to your what happened to your brother?
Oh. We'll put that to good use.
You can't go ahead on your own.
Thanks, Streamlabs. Always got my back.
We're inside a building, but I don't feel safe at all.
I mean, I'm not lost or anything. I thought I had the perfect spot. I can't go back to my brother. Just when I thought I'd...
Oh, there is one other spot. Brotherly love just makes the heart grow fonder. I mean, maybe.
Thanks a million. You... Yeah, this looks great. I'll stay here and keep an eye on them. I need to make sure it's gonna be alright for them to live here. I've kept them waiting.
There is one other spot. I took my Pokemon game and erased the data. I had like Charmeleon, a Bulbasaur. This is Sun, by the way. I also had both Lunala and... Oh, okay. Yep. So... And I don't know if it was malicious or not. But given who the person was, you had 3 sisters and 3 brothers? Oh, okay, let me fill you in. So I have 2 younger brothers, biological. I have an older stepsister, or no, 2 older stepsisters, 1 older stepbrother, and 1 younger stepbrother. So I'm the middle of all of these children, with the exception of my actual brothers, where I'm the oldest. Was level 100? Yep. So I was playing my own Pokemon game on a road trip. This is a road trip with my stepbrother who happened to be there at the time. And he's like, hey, can I look at your game? And I was like, sure, I don't have a problem with that. And given who he is, I don't want to doubt who he was. But given his character, fucking with people is definitely one of those things. And when he handed it back to me, he's like, oh, I don't know what happened. Your data got erased. Now, obviously, while I'm on the road trip, in the car, he's telling me this, and I was, I don't know, 40 hours in. So, you can imagine my rage at knowing this. Well, that's the thing, too. It's like, nowadays, I don't really care. It's not that big a deal. But I still remember it just because it's a funny story. So, I wasn't really sure how to take it. I was like, should I be mad? Do I really believe it was a mistake? And it wasn't really ever addressed after that. I never got an apology for it after that either. So I don't know if it was malicious or not. So I'm going to chop it up to being human error. But at the same time, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, and it sounds like a couple of you do, when your save file or your data, especially after hours and hours and hours of time investment and work, is just erased, you don't feel good. You don't feel great. There's like this pit in your stomach, and it just drops down, and it's just like, oh. Put a jacket on my face and cry because I wouldn't yell at him. Well, you have to understand, I was bigger than he was. Again, at the time, we were all teenagers, or at least we were coming up on teenage years. So it'd be one of those things where he's like, oh, I can take you, or whatever, but at the same time, it's like, could you really? So, it's one of those male dominance things, especially in your teen years, where, like, everything starts a fight. Every possible thing. And when you're in a car and you know you've got hours and hours and hours to go, there wasn't really a lot I could do that was going to end well for any of us. So I just sort of let it slide, and I played my game again. I just went through it again, all that sort of stuff. Now, had it been any other game, had it been my Fire Emblem or anything else, I would have fucking flipped. I would have lost my shit. Because Fire Emblem, if you don't know, has, again, back in the day, it had permadeath. What that means is if you lost a unit out in a battle, they were dead for the rest of the game. You could not bring them back. They were just gone. And when you're going through maps and you're trying to keep everybody alive, it gets a little complicated. And I always think to myself, thank God I wasn't playing Fire Emblem at the time, because if I had been, I'd have been furious. Alright, he's not down here, but that's fine. Did I give him the activated missile? Let's go back. Again, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to give out any ill will towards them. Again, so that's the weird thing. Now that I'm the age I am now, like, we've all matured. We aren't teens anymore. In fact, I'm 3 times that age now. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it was funny at the time. You know, it's just a funny story. It wasn't a great feeling, but ultimately I ended up better because of it, you know, one of those things. But just one of those things you reminisce about and you're like, did he really do that? And again, if you know how to reset a Pokemon game, it's not the easiest thing to do. But on the older consoles, it was a little bit simpler. So it's kind of hard to say. Okay, he's not back. That's fine. So I think that's after the next boss fight. So, again, I always give people a chance. If I've never really interacted with them before or anything like that, and I don't really know who they are as a person. At that point, I did kind of know him as a person, but I didn't know how he would interact with, like, a gaming device because I wasn't familiar with him interacting with anything even related to gaming at the time. So I was like, what's the harm? He's going to look at it, and that'll probably be it. But obviously, bad things happen. So just one of those things. So I always give them the benefit of the doubt. And it's like, all right, here, I trust you. It's not a big deal. And again, things happen. So again, was it a dick move if he decided to do it on purpose? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely it was a dick move. If it was an accident, it's still like, okay, you probably shouldn't have been pushing those buttons. But it's fine. I'll let it slide. So, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things. I think we are set to go. Iceless Falls, I think, right? Yes. Let's get to the next area. Oops, then winked. So that's the part I don't really... I don't know what was going on behind the scenes. I was in the front seat. He was in the back seat. So they could have absolutely done something like that. I don't know. Because it wasn't just him. It was my younger brothers, too. Because I was, again, the oldest. And I am particularly tall, so I usually end up in the front seat anyway. So it's like, all right, what happened that I wasn't looking at for? Oh shit, I got hit by slow.
Be careful not to slip and fall.
I almost ran into that pit. Because I'm a dummy.
We can use that to go down.
Ow. My ankles.
I'm on my way.
I'm going to keep doing this just because I think it's funny. Ah. Door's open.
Looks like it was opened recently.
Making progress. I still don't understand why this cave is designed that way. I guess it's just to give it more loading time for the next area, but I still don't quite understand why it's designed like that. And even then, I still beat it here. So it's like, didn't load. Cut through the fog. I want a free open world co-op RPG. So that's what MMOs are. Like Blade and I think it's like Blade and Soul, all that sort of stuff. And I think even WoW is free up to a certain level. So those do exist. Blade and Soul? Yeah, it's pretty much Dark Souls fog. And the only reason Dark Souls fog exists is to like give you more load time. Let me see if I've got it. I don't know if I got it on this PC. I don't think I downloaded it. No, I didn't. Not yet anyway. So Blade and Soul. Oop. Jack. Oh, you mean okay? Yeah, there's Jack. Cutscene Jack. He's like, Ava went this way. I can feel her. Blah blah. You know, all that sort of stuff. And we're just gonna skip right past it.
Look, there used to be just ruins here, but now...
Let's get going too.
Ava, this is why I tied a string to her. Yeah, basically. But no, Ava's such a good character. Like, I feel like they were going to use her as like the IO, or at least Jack's personal IO, and then they just decided to retcon the whole idea, because if you look at them both, they have similar features. And I'm not talking about their breast size, although they both are very stacked. But they have, you know, the white hair going on, you know, everything else. And they have similar abilities. Pick it up and you can't find her because of video game reasons. Yeah, basically. It is basically just video game reasons why she's ended up here. But that's okay. Now, the difference between the previous playthrough and this one is she may not come back to base. Because obviously we're going for the bad ending this time. We'll go for the good ending the next time. But anyway, I think I'm going to call it here. Just for tonight. I will be back tomorrow, I believe. And we will get through this lovely desert area. And then it should basically streamline. There's not really a whole heck of a lot left as far as the game is concerned, because once I've done this mission, that's basically all of the active successors that I care about. Because the next one takes me to the tower, and then from the tower I end up in the next section, which is, you know, final boss territory. So we'll pick that up. We'll get the side quest done just for shits and grins. And once we get that done, we'll get our ending. And then we'll start New Game Plus 3, which is where we're going to get our best ending. So, thank you for being here, Dan. I appreciate it. Because the guy who draws it messed up and one of the girls' breasts bigger. People are saying he's no respect for women. Are we talking about Sword Art Online? Don't get me wrong, I like Sword Art Online. I just feel like that's an issue that came up in that anime. Where somehow, miraculously, breast sizes grew. Treat yourself. Thanks, Squidman. I appreciate it. And we'll go ahead and have our Leafeon's character say...
Do take care of yourself.
Thank you, Leaf. My Hero Academia? Really? If it was one of the students, I'm going to let that slide. Again, not that that makes it any better, but girls do grow, so it's not like that would be an uncommon thing to happen. So I'm just going to put that out there that you can say what you want. It's like, oh, well, the anime character should have been the same the whole time, which is stupid because that's like, no, they are going to grow and age and mature both physically and mentally. So, yes, it makes sense for them to have developmentally changed in some way. So, again, that's a whole conversation. It's the same argument that Fox had for King of the Hill when Bobby's friend went from, like, that midget kid to, like, the tall, gangly, pimple-faced kid. I forget what his name is. But you'll have to look into the backstory of that because that's hilarious. It's like Fox absolutely hated the idea and was like, nah, we're not going to let that happen. And then Judge went ahead and did it anyway. And then they're like, no, you're not doing this for anybody else. And like, it's just great. It's fucking great. Fox is ridiculous and I hate it. And I love it. Happens right after the last episode of season 3. Okay. So, in that case, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But that's fine. Honestly, I haven't seen this season of My Hero Academia. But I do want to get into it. So, just because the place I usually watch it from hasn't uploaded it yet, I'm not going to say where, but it is a place that I watch most of my anime. It might have been. It may have been an accident, or they retconned, or something like that. And again, the only thing you really have to go off of is the manga as the source material. If the manga says one thing, and you draw another thing, then I'm going to blame whoever mistook or made the mistake. So whether it was supposed to be smaller or larger, whatever. But yeah, when the season transition, absolutely. Like, that shit's going to happen. Somebody's going to make that mistake. Me, I would never make that mistake. All of my girls are busty as hell. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This is Reaper 102388. 102388. This is Reaper 102388. This is Code Vein. It has been my birthday stream. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Follow, like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your cat. I'm sure your cat will love me talking all this time. And we will continue this on another day. All right. Bye.